On the news, petrol pump price surged to 1,150 naira after Dangote hike. Tanker explosion claims lives in Niger State. And court bars FRSC from impounding vehicles and penalizing drivers over faded plate numbers. Many thanks for joining us on the news on TV360 Nigeria. I'm Tamilore Akinkodie. The punch price of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, have risen to 1,050 naira and 1,150 naira per litre, depending on the area of purchase, following the hike in the cost of the commodity by Dangote Petroleum Refinery and various depot owners. The list confirmed that PMS prices would continue to rise since the major component in fuel production, crude oil, has been on the upward swing lately. The national president of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Festus Osifo, earlier alluded to this when he pointed out that petrol prices might soon rise if the cost of crude oil continue to increase. Citizens have taken to social media to voice their frustrations, which calls for government intervention and strategies to make fuel prices more affordable. And an oil tanker explosion in the Rock, Niger State on Saturday has left many dead and several others injured. A statement by the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Niger State, Balogi Ibrahim, confirmed the development. The incident, which occurred at Diko Junction around the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway, left many burnt to death beyond recognition. The premier motor spirit laden tanker was said to have exploded after some residents of the area went to scoop its content. Scores were said to have been burnt to death, while several others sustained various degrees of burnt. And to security matters, the Defense Headquarters DHQ has attributed the recent resurgence of terrorism in northern Nigeria to the influx of foreign fighters and the activities of collaborators acting as informants, revealing troop movements to terrorist groups. The military has expressed concerns over the growing threat posed by these factors, which have emboldened insurgent and complicated counter-terrorism operations in the country. Reacting to the development, security expert Ellen Manasseh said that Nigeria has capacity to overcome terrorism if there is a strong political will and a unified approach. He emphasized that efforts to combat insurgency would be more effective if politicians cease supporting or enabling these groups, calling for a more resolute stance against terrorism at all levels of governance.
These borders can be protected, and I can categorically tell you that if we want to end terrorism in Nigeria, it is a doable thing. What are we doing with the local content? We have thousands of Nigerian graduates who are ready to join the armed forces. We have thousands of them. You know, today if you want 200 graduates in Chibok to join the Nigerian armed forces and to be trained to protect that territory, they are available. Why can't we do it? What happens to our use of technology? What happened to the intelligence sharing and the intelligence gathering that we've been calling on? Why are we providing excuses for these people? If we have real strategic leadership and we are very serious about pinning deliverables and attach timeline to smart approach in ending terrorism, it is doable. All we need is the intelligence gathering and the intelligence sharing need to be serious. Let's listen to people that are the end feelers of this unfortunate incident. But I will be here as a Chibok man, losing my business, losing my people every day, and I will be talking, and my word means nothing, but somebody sitting in Abuja that is receiving report from those areas will be someone that will be listening to, not me. Not me that is a direct end feeler of this unfortunate terrorism. So we need to change this approach. If we are talking about informants, we are talking about local content, we have nobody stop us from developing strategy to deal with anybody that is colluding or collaborating with terrorism or with terrorists. This is what we want. Let's go all out, exterminate these terrorists, and have sanity for our country. Let people go back to their productivity. For 10 years, we have communities that are now ghost towns for over 10 years. We have people that have been IDPs and refugees in some communities in Cameroon for over 10 years. And what we keep doing is to provide excuses for terrorists about border porosity, about informant and colluding terrorists in sympathizers in our communities. No. We have more people that are tired with this terrorism, that want to end this terrorism.
Following the impeachment of the former Lagos State House of Assembly Speaker Mudashiru Obasa, reactions have continued to pour in, with many attributing his removal to overconfidence, despite his vast experience in the Assembly. Observers believe Obasa may challenge the impeachment in court, but opinions remain divided on the potential outcome. Speaking on TV360's flagship program, political affairs analyst Nelson Ekujumi said that while Obasa has the right to seek redress in court, he must be prepared to accept whatever judgment the court delivers. Ekujumi added that the former speaker's best option may lie in reconciling with party members in the state to restore his political standing.
If he's going to court, he should be prepared for the reactions. He's not a small boy. He's an adult. So every action generates a reaction. So if he decides to pursue his right further, whatever comes out of it, he should also be ready to bear it. So the ball is in his court if he feels he was not informed. Because when people come out to discuss the process of his impeachment, the question we should ask is that those discussing it don't have the local stand, because we don't know what transpired. Maybe there was a sitting in the house and these allegations were leveled against him, and because he has been accused of arrogance, he decided to to snub the invitation that nothing could happen, and lo and behold, something happened. So if there's anybody who has a local standing in this matter, I think it is the Right Honorable Mudashiru Obasa rather than anybody else, and I'm told that he's a lawyer. So I'm sure even if he's not prosecuting, he has friends who are in the legal profession who can even advise him to go to court and seek redress for an infringement on his rights by his impeachment in his so-called absence. So it's within his right to pursue that angle. Once a party has taken a line of action, as a loyal party member, is either you seek a soft landing within the party so that you can be back in the good books of the party members and party leadership. If you decide, to go full out war with the party, then whatever comes out of it, be ready to bear it. So I can't speak for him, but if he decides to go to court, it's within his right. But whatever happens, judicially out of it and party-wise, he must also be ready to bear it with his full chest.
The legal team of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of Proscribed Indigenous People of Biafra (IPOB), has expressed concerns about his continued detention by the Department of State Services (DSS). Speaking at the press briefing in Abuja, Nnamdi Kanu's lead counsel Aloy Ejimako called for the reassignment of his client's case to a new judge after Justice Binta Nyako rescued herself from the ongoing trial. Kanu faces 7-count charges, including alleged treasonable felony and terrorism, and was first arrested on October 14, 2015, upon his return to Nigeria from the United Kingdom. He was detained at the Kuje Correctional Facility before being granted bail in 2017 on health grounds.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu felt that the only fair way out of this logjam is to seek that his case be handled by another judge. Hence, the recusal, the famous recusal that is still roiling the system. And in concluding this press statement, ladies and gentlemen of the media, we must go on record to say this. As lawyers, our duty is to ensure that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case is conducted or handled in accordance with all the laws pertinent to it, particularly the Constitution of the Federal Government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which is the ground norm.
On the foregoing, it is our view that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is undergoing persecution and state-sanctioned extrajudicial detention and not trial. Persecution is a terrible approach to the prosecution of cases. From the unending adjournments, the refusal to prosecute the case before any other judge other than Justice Binta. The compromise is centered on ensuring that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is never allowed access to his lawyers for the preparation of his defense, it becomes irresistible in conclusion that what Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu is facing is persecution from the federal government of Nigeria and not normal prosecution permissible under the Criminal Justice Administration.
The Federal High Court has issued a ruling restraining the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, from arresting or penalizing drivers with faded vehicles' number plates. The decision follows a legal challenge questioning the FRSC's authority to impose fines and sanctions on drivers for an issue deemed beyond their control. The court argued that the number plates naturally fade over time due to wear and tear, and it is the responsibility of relevant authorities to provide replacement. The ruling emphasized that the FRSC's action lacked legal backing and violated the rights of affected motorists. In response, the FRSC stated that it would review the court's decision and take necessary steps to ensure compliance with the law. The Northern Patriotic Coalition of Democracy (NPCD) has criticized the former Emir of Kano, Nnamdi Muhammadu Sanusi II, over the recent remarks on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's economic policies, describing his comment as careless and misinformed. The group accused Sanusi of lacking the moral authority to advise the government, alleging that his tenure as First Bank and as the Central Bank of Nigeria's governor was marked by questionable decisions that contributed to economic instability. Speaking during a press conference in Abuja on Friday, the convener of the group, Muhammad Yahya, dismissed Sanusi's statement as unhelpful and lacking genuine interest in Nigeria's progress.
We believe that leadership is about finding solutions, not amplifying problems. Sanusi's recent comments are neither constructive nor solution-oriented. Instead, they reflect a troubling pattern of partisanship that prioritizes personal interests over national progress. We firmly believe that the tasks of nation building require collaborations, dialogue, and strong commitment to the common good, which are essential qualities glaring absent from Sanusi's recent statement. However, this begs the importance to question what concrete solution has Sanusi provided to the issue he frequently laments on. Unfortunately, it seems that there is no answer. His recent strategy has been marked by grandiose language that offers no practical answer, a trend that continues to this day. Emir Sanusi's action and statement expose him as a very controversial. He portrays himself as champion of progress, yet his track record tells a different story. He has consistently failed to rise above partisan politics and personal ambition. Rather, he chooses to undermine genuine effort to move Nigeria forward. The Northern Patriotic Coalition of Democracy called on Emir Sanusi and other prominent figures to rise above petty politics and embrace the spirit of patriotic leadership. This is a defining moment in Nigerian history and a time when leaders and citizens alike most prioritize the nation's growth over personal gain. We urge Sanusi to abandon his parochial sentiments, criticisms, and engage constructively with the government to address the challenges facing our nation.
We'll take a break here. Coming up on News Now, Brazil announces Nigeria's BRIC partner country. Stay with us for details of the story. Welcome back. Now here's a quick recap of our top stories. The pump prices of premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, has risen to 1,050 naira and 1,150 naira per litre, depending on the area of purchase, following the hike in the cost of commodity by the Dangote Petroleum Refinery and various depot owners. Dealers confirmed that PMS prices will continue to rise since the major component in fuel production, also known as crude oil, has been on the upward swing lately. Better informed you that the Federal High Court has issued a ruling restraining the Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC) from arresting or penalizing drivers with faded vehicle number plates. The decision follows a legal challenge questioning the FRSC authority to impose fines and sanctions on drivers for an issue deemed beyond their control. In response, the FRSC stated that it would review the court's decision and take necessary steps to ensure compliance with the law. Now, in case you missed any of the news bulletin or for more updates, you can catch us on Lime's World TV and AVO TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria, or download our mobile app on Google Play Store, Huawei App Gallery, and Apple Store. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. And on business, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has raised its growth forecast for the global economy to 3.3% in 2025, up from the 3.2% projection in October 2024. In IMF's World Economic Outlook published on its website, the Washington-based institution said the forecast for this year is holding steady, but still below the historical average of 3.7%. According to the report, global growth is projected at 3.3% both in 2025 and 2026, below the historical average of 3.7%. IMF explained that global headline inflation is expected to decline to 4.2% in 2025 and 3.5% in 2026, converging back to the target earlier in advanced economies than in emerging market and developing economies. And in a bid to prevent future gas-related explosions and ensure the safety of Nigerians, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, alongside the Presidential Committee on CNG Initiatives, is taking proactive steps. This was revealed during the 2025 budget presentation by the Ministry of Petroleum Resources to the National Assembly. Our correspondent Victoria Konde has more in this next report.
The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ekperikpe Ekpo, has announced that the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, in collaboration with the Presidential Committee on CNG Initiatives, is implementing safety measures to prevent gas-related explosions across the country. The minister made this statement while presenting the ministry's 2025 budget of 4.25 billion naira to the National Assembly's Joint Committee on Petroleum Upstream. During the session, Senator Natasha Kotu, representing Kogi Central, raised concerns about safety in the compressed natural gas program, citing recent explosion incidents. She questioned the ministry on whether any concrete safety programs had been developed to address these risks.
I want to find out, in your collaboration with stakeholders, for the conversion of vehicles to dual fuel or to LPG CNG, how much impact do you think you have been able to make in terms of percentage on Nigerians? And of course, how much collaboration and cooperation, how much are you leveraging on the collaboration and cooperation of honorable members?
I need to know, are you actually right now conducting the adaptability of the CNG project to Nigeria? Or we just see what happens in China, see what happens in America and think, bam, it can also work in Nigeria?
Involve the NMDPRA, the regulator, the standard organization, to liaise with the presidential initiative and ensure that for the installation of the equipment in the vehicle, in the conversion, it should be certified centers. So far, our investigation has shown that those ones that you have explosion has been done by illegal outfit, which we are working on making sure that they don't operate. So we are really on it.
The emissions we're talking about, if out of 100% emissions, we as a continent constitute only 3%. When one country in Europe, UK, constitute 4.8%. It would be wrong for us to be talking about energy transition when we don't even have energy security.
Senator Victor Ume, representing Anambra Central, sought clarity on when ongoing gas pipeline infrastructure projects will be extended to southern regions of the country. In response, Ekperikpe Ekpo assured the committee of the ministry's commitment to ensuring safety and equitable development in gas infrastructure.
Light on what is happening to the midstream and downstream gas infrastructure fund, which have been fixed in various banks. I would like us to tell us what has happened to those funds and interest that have accrued in fixing those funds in various banks.
We have released about 222 billion to the 6 companies that are involved in this midstream, downstream infrastructure development to cushion the effect of the CNG that we are talking about and try to disseminate it to other states of the Federation.
Following the deliberations, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Petroleum Resources Upstream, Jarigbe Agom Jarigbe, adjourned the session, promising to provide feedback on the committee's decision in due course. Victoria Akonde, TV360 News, Lagos.
And on the global scene, the Brazilian government has announced the formal admission of Nigeria as a partner country in the multinational bloc known as BRICS. This was contained in the statement by the Brazil Foreign Ministry on Friday. According to Brazil, BRICS and Nigeria share common interests as both actively strive to enhance cooperation among global South countries and advocate for the reform of international organizations. Brazil currently holds the BRICS presidency for 2025, having taken over from Russia on January the 1st. And the Israeli military says it is preparing to receive hostages after their release from Hamas captivity ahead of the ceasefire taking effect. The truce will begin on Sunday after Israel's government voted to approve it. 33 hostages are due to be freed in the first 6 weeks in exchange for Palestinian prisoners being released from Israeli's prison. Hamas attacked Israel on 7th of October 2023, killing about 1,200 people and taking 251 back to Gaza as hostages. And on sports, Super Eagles goalkeeper Maduka Okoye is under investigation over an alleged betting scandal in Italy. The Udinese goalkeeper is being investigated by the Udine prosecutor's office for bets on one of the team's games last season. Sinai, a betting company, dictated unusual gambling activities on a system with an abnormal number of bets placed on Okoye to receive a booking during Udinese games against Lazio on March 11, 2024. Okoye risks potential sanctions ranging from 7 months to 4 years if found guilty, depending on the severity of any proven offences. And Manchester United in Scotland great Dennis Law has died at the age of 84, with tributes pouring in from across the footballing world. Law won 2 league titles with United and was a member of the European Cup winning side under Matt Bobsbury in 1968, when they became the first English club to lift the trophy. Law's death was announced in a statement by his family and is the only man to have 2 statues dedicated to him at Old Trafford. He began his career at Huddersfield and had 2 spells at Manchester City, as well as a stint in Serie A with Torino. And that wraps up our bulletin on news now. Many thanks for watching. See you again next time.